When you ask a lot of people what is their best weight or what is their ideal weight, they're often going to give you a number. But a number doesn't necessarily tell us what is going to be someone's best weight. I personally love this definition of best weight that comes from two of Canada's leading obesity doctors. And they say in their book, Best Weight, they say that our best weight is whatever weight we achieve while living the healthiest lifestyle, wait for it, we can truly enjoy. There comes a point when a person cannot simply eat less or exercise more and still like their life. And this person here, who's one of the ambassadors for the Canadian Obesity Network, he is an excellent example of someone who was obese and still is obese, but who used to be a lot larger and who's lost a great deal of weight, but he's still large. He still is obese, but he eats healthy. He exercises regularly. He's extremely strong, and he's going to be one of those people that's never going to be, a smaller size. He's always going to be in a larger body. That doesn't necessarily mean he's unhealthy. And the reason I talk about this in this section is that our size doesn't necessarily determine our health. It's one of the things that influences our health, but it's not the only factor. I also bring this up because when it comes to weight loss, yes, diet and exercise make a difference, absolutely. And that's always going to be the first line of approach for someone who has obesity, is consuming a more moderate diet and to increasing the amount of exercise. But even still, diet and exercise, especially when someone's at a higher level of obesity, it typically can only get them so far, especially if they have problems with appetite regulation and their appetite hormones are just like always putting the accelerator down on their appetite center. So for these individuals, sometimes medical interventions are also indicated. There are three main obesity drugs that are approved for use here in Canada. There's something called orlistat, which we've already learned about in the lipids chapter, and this is a fat blocking drug. So it actually blocks the activity of lipase in the small intestine, limiting lipid absorption and decreasing the amount of calories we take in. The issue with this one, though, is that it can promote, if you still eat lipids, it can promote really oily stools and like gastrointestinal discomfort. The two main drugs, though, that are typically prescribed for obesity are something called liraglutide and naltrexone bupropion. And both of these are associated with reducing appetite. Okay, liraglutide, or as it's known, Saxenda, this one increases the activity of GLP-1, which you remember we just learned about is that hormone secreted by the small intestine that puts the brake on the appetite center. This second drug that goes by the brand name Contrave, this one, its exact mechanism of action is still being explored, but we know that it tends to decrease the reward system in the brain associated with a higher appetite. Individuals with obesity, sometimes in consultation with a doctor, also decide on undergoing bariatric surgery. And bariatric surgery is a type of surgery where the size and or shape of the stomach is altered. Why? Individuals with obesity, over time, their stomach gets larger and larger to receive more food. That's why an individual that's at a higher level of obesity is more likely to be able to eat 2 or 3 times as much as maybe someone with a smaller stomach. Well, their appetite is never going to go down if their stomach is so large, because one of the things that promotes the stop signal on the brain is when our stomach stretches. So one of the main interventions for higher levels of obesity, especially ones with a lot of comorbidities, is this thing called bariatric surgery. And these are the 3 main types. Okay, although there's another one that's also available in Canada too. So one of the main types of bariatric surgery is something called Roux-en-Y. And basically what they do is they separate the upper part of the stomach, so this is still the upper part of the stomach, from the rest of the stomach, and attach that stomach to a lower part of the small intestine. So basically food bypasses, it doesn't go through all these areas. Okay, so you get fuller more quickly because your stomach fills up more quickly, plus your ability to digest goes down. So your ability to absorb goes down as well. Another popular type of bariatric surgery is something called sleeve gastrectomy. And basically what they do, they make these kind of puncture holes in your abdomen, and they go in with these really cool medical tools that include like a camera so we can see what's going on. And they go through with this medical tool that kind of looks like this. And if you ever heard of the term getting your stomach stapled, this is sometimes what we mean by that. They go through and they cut and staple. They cut off like a banana-sized sleeve of the stomach, and they leave usually about half of the stomach behind. Okay, and then they'll actually kind of suck that part of this removed part of the stomach. They'll suck it out of that hole as well. So again, individuals with a sleeve gastrectomy, they get fuller quicker, and they're more likely to eat less. These are both not reversible. However, gastric banding is. Gastric banding involves this adjustable device called a lap band that's placed at the upper part of the stomach. And again, the idea is that that person can only eat about this much until that food is digested small enough so it can pass through here. Okay? Which means that any given time, I really can only maximally fill this amount. I can eat less with this. Okay? A lot of people think about bariatric surgery as like an easy way out, and I'm here to tell you that it is not. There are a lot of dietary changes that need to occur before someone is considered a candidate for bariatric surgery. Often afterwards, your complete diet typically changes as well. People often have to go on vitamin mineral supplements for the rest of their life. They often have to eliminate alcohol or significantly decrease it. If you're a smoker, you have to give it up before going through bariatric surgery. And there are some maintenance aspects to it as well. That being said, it can significantly improve people's quality of life. It's not for everyone, but it's something that is an option for individuals who are at higher levels of obesity, who have tried diet and exercise. It has only gotten them so far, and their obesity is now compromising their physical or mental well-being. Okay, if someone you know or yourself is thinking about this, it's always good to talk to a doctor. But you should be aware that there's about a 2-year wait list here in Canada to get bariatric surgery.